So many people will state that because we have organs, that the idea of detoxification is just quackery or a fad, or it's totally unnecessary because we have a liver, we have kidneys, we have a gut. So therefore, we don't need to worry about further detoxifying the body because our organs are just taking care of that for us. Well, that doesn't actually have any basis in reality because, first of all, our bodies are exposed to hundreds of thousands of toxic chemicals that are a lot easier for men to create than it is for our human body to get rid of. I'm sure we've all heard of some of these chemicals. Some of these would be air particulate matter, microplastics, many of those which are forever chemicals, heavy metals, dioxins, benzene, pesticides, herbicides, chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceutical drugs, xenoestrogens, PCBs, et cetera, et cetera. Not even including all of the artificial dyes and artificial flavorings and food colorings and whatnot that are added to a lot of the foods that people eat on a regular basis. So there's that. But I want to get into some of the disease statistics because this really will shed more of a proper light on the situation. So how many people have liver disease and liver failure? Because if we don't have a proper functioning liver, obviously that's going to impact our ability to detoxify. Well, according to the American Liver Foundation, 4.5 million U.S. adults, about 1.8%, have been diagnosed with liver disease. However, it's estimated that about 80 to 100 million adults in the U.S. have fatty liver disease, and many are unaware of this. It's in many cases, it's a symptomless disease. So about 30% have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So between the liver failure and NAFLD numbers, we know that a pretty substantial, and that's the reported numbers, that's not even the, a lot of the times for many of these issues, the actual reality is a lot higher because not everyone who has it is going in and getting tested. So to their reported numbers, and many doctors actually think it's a lot higher, about 30% of the population is operating with suboptimal liver functioning. Again, many doctors think it's a lot higher, but we'll go with 30%. That's still a good chunk of the population. All right, well, what about gut issues? We know that a lot of people have irritable bowel syndrome, gut dysbiosis, diarrhea, constipation, low stomach acid, lack of fiber, antibiotic use, even non-antibiotic use. More than 25% of non-antibiotic drugs cause dysbiosis of the microbiome. And, it's even more deadly, of course, more impactful when it comes to straight up antibiotics. When it comes to those, a 2017 review has shown that a short course of antibiotics can disrupt the gut microbiome for up to 1 year. Now, other research isn't that long, maybe, might be 3, might be 6 months, but if you're damaging your gut for longer than a month from taking one course of antibiotics, then it's probably wise to seek other alternatives and to only use that in case it's like the last, unless you're in like the last absolute, scenario where everything else hasn't worked, or you're in a life-threatening scenario, like whatever. But it's not a wise decision. At best, it'll take a few to 6 months to repair your gut. So how many people have kidney problems? It's estimated that the global prevalence of CKD, chronic kidney disease, is about 13.5%. How many people are not sleeping properly? Sleep deprived, not getting enough sleep on a regular basis. They have insomnia, their circadian rhythm is messed up. They have sleep apnea. Why is this important? Because we need a certain amount of sleep every night to get toxins out of our brain. This is called the glymphatic system. Now, obviously, it's important to get toxins out of the entire body, period, but in particular, there's a part of the brain that's only active when we're sleeping, and its specific role is to flush toxic proteins and toxic accumulation of call it gunk, whatever you want, out of the body at night. So if you're sleep deprived, and we know based on the numbers that sleep deprivation leads to a lot of brain and cognitive and neurological issues. So what about our respiratory situation? How many people have lung issues? So even if you don't even have a lung disease, how many people are shallow mouth breathers? They don't engage in nasal breathing. And I mean like literal mouth breathers. There's a whole bunch of research associated with that. I believe James Nestor is a person who wrote a book on that and brought a lot of that information to light. But nasal breathing is critical, and a lot of people don't do that. But not only that, but if you shallow breathe, then carbon dioxide builds up into the body, and this can cause, this is known as hypercapnia, and excess carbon dioxide can cause fatigue and shortness of breath, among other things. So when we're not efficiently removing carbon dioxide, that can lead to a whole host of problems. I mean, new research in and of itself, just from Harvard University, has found that more than 8 million people died in 2018 from fossil fuel pollution, significantly higher than previous research suggested, meaning that air pollution from fossil fuels and diesel was responsible for about 1 in 5 deaths worldwide, or about 20%. Research published in the European Heart Journal in 2019 concluded that nearly 800,000 people die prematurely each year in Europe because of dirty air, and that each life is cut short by an average of more than 2 years. Numerous studies have shown that there is a direct correlation between air pollution spikes and hospital admissions, even at levels below international air quality guidelines. The second part to this whole thing, outside of toxicity, would be nutritional deficiencies. We know that a wide variety of the population have deficiencies in minerals and vitamins, amino acids. So we know that we need certain minerals such as zinc, iodine, magnesium, copper, selenium. We need these things in order for our liver to function properly, in order for our brain to function properly, our kidneys, etc. So the fact that a lot of the population is suffering from deficiencies in these critical nutrients is another reason why there would be a buildup of toxicity within their body. So the idea that we don't need to work on detoxifying because the body is doing it for us, we just have organs, that's why we have organs to just do it for us. It's nice in theory, and it works maybe in a perfect world where we're eating perfectly clean food, grown in perfectly clean soil, and we have no stress. But in reality, that's just not how it works.